Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Xeno, the personification of a cry for help, and today I'm going to be playing Ediction. I know I said that I was going to be reading some of the February Game Jam submissions, and this was one of them. Actually, this is one of the earliest ones. I believe it was like uploaded in like the middle of the month, so I had my eye on this for quite some time now, so finally get to play it. I don't like this, but the art style is really fucking cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and start. Why'd you stop? What? What's that? What was that? What was that? Welcome back to the land of the living, Rotter. Is that what we're gonna be told, like deceased people who are brought back to life or something? Oh jeez. Been a while for you, has it? Good. Just move that eye around, no need to rush eating ass over tea kettle. What? I haven't heard that saying. World isn't going anywhere. Never does on its own. Feeling a little lost there, maybe? Need some help? Let's try a little exercise. I'm going to touch you, help you get your bearings. This right here, I'm touching your nose. That. Now your chin. Your chin. These are the corners of your jaw. Your. Feel anything on this one? Guess not. That was your left ear. Let's try your right ear. You need... Careful! Steady your breathing, your lungs have to get their lids too. There's an awful thing in your chest. Your lungs are somewhere in there. Your chest, inside your ribs. Ribs? Inside. None of these are the right word. It connects to these, your shoulders. For what you feel. And here to the neck. For what you remember. And now we're back to the jaw. How about that? This isn't a dream or a memory. Speaking habits that require a whole slew of parts. In your defense, it's rather easy to forget. I'll be the first to tell you remembering's a pain. Open your mouth. Pain. Oh shit! Pain. Oh, hello. Quick learner, are you, Rotter? Are you saying you're in pain? Yes, you're in so much pain. Nod your head. One simple motion, yet a part of you, unspoken, knows it was never simple. It feels like what's the word? Snapping, tightening, breaking? Your thoughts begin to build. You feel them complicate. You feel yourself no longer remember how to be as you feel yourself be. There's a light in your eye. For now, just focus. The pain will pass. It won't. That thing that the voice must see in your eye must be a fair liar indeed, because it is not light. Whatever dances in your vision is more akin to fire. That which burns does not illuminate, it blinds. You are not being welcomed to a hearth fire because the house burned down, and it burned down for a reason. That's what you remember. You are alive. You or being, and you can imagine nothing more terrible. In seconds, you live decades taught in reverse. You have no water to quell that sin of searing heat tracing your veins, nor to pour from your eyes. Crying. That was inefficiency at its core, you remember. A waste. Ratter? Can you hear me? Soon the memories become too much to bear, too wide to invite through the door. You realize that even that burning fire that crackles in your bones and singes your skin and burns the whole house down couldn't rid you of the foundations, nor the walls, nor even the lousy doorframe that is both too large and too small. It's so ill-fitting it disgusts you, yet even that is a guess spurred against the weight of that lousy fucking being that you have been made to do. The voice has long since gone quiet, or perhaps you cannot hear it any longer. A welcome change. Lose yourself in this unbearable heat? It was too much for you then, and it's too much for you now. Cut your losses. Go back to quiet. You gave up on this body being yours long ago. Rotter! Listen to me. Carefully. I didn't do this randomly. I didn't do this out of the kindness of my heart. And I sure as hell didn't go through years of fetid nonsense for you to give up on me in the first fucking hour. Your jaw, your neck, your lungs, use them and breathe. Or what? That's the first thing you think. Or what? You recognize that part of you where it comes from. Somewhere in the gut where the heart sinks in and hides wherever someone yells. But you cannot chide that faraway child because somehow, some way, we can see the bearer of this voice. And this is enough. Enough to be new. You have not seen in a long time. You do not know why it surprises you that the voice is not simply a fixture of cruel existence, and is, instead, a person. Nor do you know why it disappoints you. Better! Don't let up now. The novelty fades as your skin feels as though it reaches a boiling point. The pull of air in your throat catches as it closes up. And then, just like that, you remember it is caused by touch. How silly that you forget. Is that what was so overwhelming? Just move your hand. Brush whatever it is off. You can feel it on your chest. Move your hands. Come on! It's attached to a wrist, then your arm, your shoulder. You are not a newborn. We've all been over this. Just... what's wrong? Focus, Rotter. Back up and start with what you know. Use your breath and tell me. No. He doesn't get to say that to you. This is your arm. It's yours to move, isn't it? So why? Why you've made this so hard? It's... Wait. You remember now. You've had this before. Something cools in your mind as the words begin to return. This body is not mine. This body is not mine. Yes, that's right. And then... That's the quote. That's the quote that you see when you first click on the game's description. This body is not mine. It is the body. Yes. Exactly. This body is not mine. It is the body. This body is not mine. It is the body. This body is not mine. It is the body. This body is not mine. It is the body. This body is not mine. It is the body. Good. Now speak. The man hints over you, bringing his ear close. Touching hurts. The touching? You mean my hand? I have not touched you since I was dead in you before. No. Everything. Everything? Oh, everything. I think I understand now. You have a very heavy blanket covering you at the moment. I was hoping it would aid with your blood flow. I'll remove it slowly. It's about to get a touch chilly. You hope it does. Anything to quell the burning in the skin. Your speech seems to be building itself back up. Good sign. The cold of the air sends needle pricks up the spine. Pain of a different sort, but still welcome. Welcome enough that you want to invite this sensation inside the body too. Water. Sorry, but not yet. The hell does that mean? No water? You can't help but huff with indignation. It makes the ribs ache. No need to get all twisted up about it. I'm afraid giving you water right now wouldn't help you very much. It would just stay in your gut and stay there. All will be explained in due time, Rotter. Remember what I said earlier. Ass, tea kettle. The teeth chew on the cheek. In an effort to stop thinking of all that was there before, you think of something else. You are no longer in the sea of nothing. At the work of a man. A simple, fallible, foolish man. It is no mystery to you what he is. A distant part of you flares with fear. Another with curiosity. A third with disgust. None can sway you more than the pain, of course. You need to hold on to this moment. You reach. Oh God. Which one should I pick? Curiosity? I'm really curious. Explain now. For someone overwhelmed by a blanket just a few moments ago, you are quite eager to stick your neck out the carriage window. Carriage? What is he talking about? It was a figure of speech. I see you craning your neck about. But very well, there's no harm in satisfying your questions. It will have to happen sooner or later. No reckoning can be postponed indefinitely after all. Allow me to begin where all introductions ought to, and with an apology that it had to take so long to reach it. My name is Hermeto Adrisa. Yours is Ramala, but you'll have to forgive me if that's all I know. Your betters didn't seem to find a surname fit to remember in their records. Like many others, you were banished from life. I have rectified this. Gloaming man. Yes, yes. I'm sure you have all sorts of colorful turns of phrase you're just itching to call me. I'll just start by reminding you that the ones who taught you about the world left you to rot away from it. Quite literally, I should add. Tell me, Ramla, what were you taught about death? About what awaits you beyond breath? You don't know how to distill it into simple words. You don't know if you'd care to even grace that with a proper answer. You profaned. That's right. And I'll do it 1,000 times over if it meant the right thing happening to the world for a change. That got your attention then? Good. Like I told you before, I did not do such a thing like this randomly. Simply put, I need you, Ramla. You and you alone. Why? Like a collapsed lung, the world caves in on itself. The only reason we gloaming men can reach for a shredded soul like yours at all is testament to the fact that the gods made their bid and lost. Lost? Everything. I will say it to you in no uncertain terms. Something that should have been said to you as soon as you were able to understand the words. There is no true death. There hasn't been true death for 372 years. What? You were never truly dead, Ramla.
simply put aside. An exile of a sort.
You feel, with an almost alien feeling in the breast, the corners of the mouth twitch into something like a smile. The teeth hang oddly from the skull. You hope it looks as disconcerting as it feels.
Liar. Believe what you will, I can't make you.
But he wishes he could, doesn't he? Bloody defiler. He robbed you of your rest, your peace. To hell with whatever's true, whatever's false. It's because of him that you forgot and thought this was your body again.
I shouldn't have to tell you what it's like to be in a sea of nothing. You know it better than I ever could what it's like. A spirit can shed its body, but it can never shed its thoughts. An eternity of your thoughts, forever, is enough to drive anyone mad.
Now you can't help it. You riddle the body with wildfire as laugh chokes out of it. Ooh, I won't be sassy.
Wrong. Oh, and how so, rotter? No pain in death.
You feel the face fall still. The mirth bled out of it far too soon. You stare into the eyes of the man responsible. The sight carves into you.
Is that so? Can't say it feels all that worth it to me, but what do I know? Now, Ramla, let's move along to the next question. Why you? What exactly makes you so special? I should hope this much is obvious to you. In a somewhat related note, you are struggling with your vision, are you not?
You are. You thought it was the pain.
What did you do? You're currently only possessed one eye. What did you do? I had to remove it.
Your thoughts go quiet. The body tightens. The heart burns.
Like I said, this should be obvious to you, but I don't want there to be any misunderstandings. It was necessary to remove your eye, as it was where they rooted your body with the rods.
The huh?
There is no way your eye would have functioned even if I had left it. In fact, it would actively keep you inert, and in an agony far greater than whatever you feel right now.
Fucking bastard. Doesn't know what you feel. Fucking gloaming man. Looking down at you like that. The words do not form in your mind, but in the bones. Ooh, I hate you. This body is not mine, it is the body. I want to try this. His eyes bore into you as you burn. You watch each other in silence. A silence he is the first to break.
It is your eye that's marked you with the rods. It is why I chose you. And it is what I need you to wield when the time comes.
You watch as he holds out a little leather sack, large enough for only a few dice. The bottom is lightly stained a dark hue, the top tied shut with a cord.
And I would have you truly wield it.
You want me to carry in my eye?
I do.
Why?
Because it's yours.
Are you trying to trick me?
No, I am trying not to lay claim to that which I do not own, Ramla. It is your eye and the root of the curse of your past. You know how dangerous it is, and so do I. This isn't my decision to make. Who do you trust more with it, me or you? It truly makes no difference to me either way.
Take the goddamn eye. Take the fucking eye.
I'll take it. Very well.
You watch as the gloaming man nears you and gingerly lines the cord around your neck, slack enough that it makes the eye hang like a necklace. The flesh tickles with light stings for only a moment.
What do you want with my eye? to use it. Don't apply just yet. Hear this to the end.
You wait an uncomfortable amount of time as the glowing man puts his thoughts together. Until finally,
You will travel with me to the highest mount, the mantle. Within we will find a great pillar. Upon that pillar, encoded in the deepest tongue, are the edicts that govern life and death. And you will release the roots of your rot from your eye upon its foundation.
you are stunned. Until, again, a laugh ripples from between the teeth. Why would I ever do that?
A very simple reason, rotter. You'll never know death until you do. A threat? A promise. Help me do this, and you will know true death. You and everyone else waiting in line.
What does that mean?
It means that you are not the only soul adrift. It means that for every soul exiled from life, there exists an eternity of torment, much like yours. It means, rotter, that it can all be fixed in one fell swoop. Your soul will return to the forever it was meant to go to. True peace. No thoughts, no pain. All I'm asking is a fraction of that time in exchange.
He speaks as though there is no other recourse.
But is it true? You want good? I'll show it to you. Anything and everything, I'll share it all. Every miserable secret behind every miserable curtain drawn up by every miserable hand. I'll show you why it happened the way it did. I'll give you everything I have. Yes, I'll take two, rotter. I'll use you, and I won't apologize. But never say I lied to you. Every secret I know is yours. So long as you promise to keep walking.
What the hell? Huh. So I guess in this world, there are people who can't truly die. And for some reason, his eye holds like the key to ending that because of the rot. So once that's done, everyone can go back. Interesting. Wait, I'm curious. Is this a dick? I have no idea. But it looks very phallic shaped. Well, made this my first censor for this channel. If it is one. Maybe I could get away with it. You have been watching for some time. You don't know how long. It seems like the skill to pay attention to details like seconds or minutes comes back around as slowly as watching itself has. The knowledge that your body aches and simmers sits somewhere in the back of the mind, placed out of sight. There's a smell of ash in the air. You can see it pour across the sky, thick as a canopy. You hobble across thin paths and dry grass that wilt in bunches around crumbling stone ruins, the building's lawn since leveled into nothing. The world looks almost exactly like how you left it, just with less. You clutch a thin tunic or robe around you. For now, it's all you can bear to have touched the skin. Oh shit!
We should find a spot to rest soon. Your legs haven't stopped shaking since those stairs.
Bad place to stop.
Ah, so you're familiar with Foundation. I suppose that shouldn't be a surprise, considering this is where I found you. Yes, it's hardly safe here, but let's be honest. Your body is held together by suture thread and hope at this point. We'll keep going for a while longer yet.
You keep walking. You don't know how long it's been. Soon every pocket of old gray bricks start to feel the same, and despite your professed caution, you simply can't be bothered to pay attention for what might be lurking amidst them. You see no sky above the carpet of ash, and yet light still seems to suffuse itself into every corner, as if the day itself has paled away. A foundation is indeed a facet of their divinity, Confessor. I don't understand. Has your mother ever told you the story of it? How it came to be? I hope you are not prone to such idleness in your own adult years. Listen well. foundation was built from the gods' very hands themselves.
What? Really?
Indeed. The gods built it with their own hands, stone by stone, to house the stonemasons and the carpenters, the miners and the weavers, the tanners and the artisans. Also, the many who toil in their name felt sheltered by their land. So why is it, Why is it what? Fallen apart? Confessor, it was built of their very own hands. It was in the essence of perfection of their order, their plan, and so as above needed revision. And what would be those adult years? You often remember what the preceptor had said. Even as the stones began to crumble into little more than dust, no one dared lift so much as a pebble. The knees pop as you stagger and clutch onto a wall for balance. The bricks the palms connect with slides off the position and crash into 100 pieces on the ground. You heave a sigh. No one is around now to see what would have been a crime. You feel a strange sense of grief, not for the people of Foundation, no, but for your fear of them. At some point, their despair starts to look like yours. And then they were gone. Thinking about it now, you never actually saw anyone doing something like carpentry, or weaving, or masonry in Foundation. It's not so bad. Getting rained on isn't so bad. Well, think about it this way. They built the houses, fashioned the bricks, mined their own mantle, which touches their sky, which sends the rain. All of it is part of their design. Rain is a beautiful thing. It nourishes, it refreshes, it grows. It can also sweep everything away. I could get a little wet if it means understanding their design, but not even a tarp? Ha! No, Ramla, not even a tarp. What if the tarp was part of their design too? Then it wouldn't be there. The eyes feel glazed over every now and then. You have to remember to keep using it, but everything in front of you appears the same enough that you stop seeing the point in it. Sighed. Where is he now? You don't feel as though you deserve the answer to that question. Look at you. Heaving breaths and trying not to wind up face first in the dirt at the behest of a gloaming man. In what world is he expecting you to make it to the mantle? How many leagues would that even be? What an insane thing to do.
Eyes up, Rotter. An old church, at least that's where I think it must be, is up ahead. Probably the first structure with walls that don't look like they're falling on their heads.
You follow his line of sight onto the structure in question. Its old peaked facade certainly does suggest the idea of a church. Your eye slides from the nave roof down to its exposed arcades, circling old engravings and torches still flickering with the white flame. You're surprised to see them still lit. The eternal white flame has always needed fuel in your lifetime. We must leave now. Sorry. We must leave right now. The hand grabs the glowing man by its robe, tightening him around the corner just as the spirit lodges itself in the soft earth where he stood. You hear him curse, and so the two of you trudge slowly into the sea of rubble. You grit the teeth to ignore how his hand steadying the side makes pain lace through you sharper than a spear ever could. I am slowing you down. We must hide. Nonsense. We'll see this through. Do not be cocky. Can you trust me for a moment? What? Without warning, the glowing man abandons your side, slipping quickly into a cropping of stones. You stand alone and exposed. There's a familiar lurch in the stomach, the one caused by the fear of death. A treasonous voice loyal only to the body. You turn in place, the feet already wobbling with uncertainty beneath you. Oh shit, we got hit. And it's over. What? What is rest? You've asked yourself this question again and again. What is rest? Again and again and again. Until the words no longer carry any meaning. What is rest? You hope to find a kind of rest in between the sounds of the words, or at least in the sounds that you remember created them. There is no sound here. course not. No are their ears, nor flesh of any kind. That, you think, is a rest, at the very least. There was nothing your flesh offered you that was worth what it took to return. But this fervor against the sensations of a body, it cannot last. Not forever. Not here. Of course not. There is no thought that lasts forever. But the thinking does. A mind awaits thoughts as uselessly as if the meat were still in the stall. What is rest? As much as you wish you could twist this all into something you thought, maybe, was once upon what a time wanted. What is rest? Not this. You've known this for a long time. It's not this. I want to go home. You remember being held aloft by your mother as a child. Once upon a time, your mother was your world. You were in so much pain. There was nothing that the whole entire world can do to say why. She rocked you, sang to you, wept with you. You said, I want to go home. I want to go home. But you're already home, darling. See? We're here. We never left. I want to go home, please. Hush now. You think about this often. The first reason? Because you tend to meditate on the nature of pain. How, in that moment, pain had the power to rob you of what is true. It could turn you into a beast. It could rob all sense. It could take away your home despite the fact that she cradled you by the glow of the hearth. Eventually, it can make your mother see nothing in you she could recognize. The second reason is because you can't feel that pain any longer, and that brings you some sense of peace. There is truly a part of you that prefers this endless exhale over the mindless fury of whatever popped in your bones and singed under your skin. Pain can't take that away from you here. And then, by some ancient cruelty, the pain returns.
Welcome back to the land of the living, rotter.
You wake.
Again, I should say.
What?
I told you before, did I not? You will never know death of any sort until we reach the mantle.
I died again.
Correction, you left life, but you did not die. Remember, death is still very much broken until we mend it. You let me die. I had no choice at the time. You left me. To do what I was capable of doing to defend us, I had to be stationed in a different location, yes? We both performed our roles wonderfully. You should be proud. You managed to respond to the situation quite well despite your circumstances. I should have let the spear hit you. It'd take more than that to put me out, rotter. This world is gloaming man's paradise after all. Death has never been easier to betray. Where are the attackers? Oh. They left life too, don't worry. How? Here. I've started a fire. I'm thinking we try giving you some soup and see how that goes.
Ooh, you have to try. But I can't. I can't do it. You can. You can, even though it hurts. I'm sorry, Mama. If you don't try, you'll live somewhere else, Ramla. I don't want to go. Then you have to try. Ramla? Please. This is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Just try. Your dreams become indistinguishable from mere recall, which become indistinguishable from death. The next day winds on much the same as the ones before it. You walk. You are reminded of your weakness again and again. You hide in muddy hovels. And occasionally, you keep dying, what? You die. As close as one gets to it anyway. The ones who remain in Foundation are dogged in their pursuit. The ones that hunt you now are not deterred even by the trail of banished souls left in your wake. You meditate on the violence of it. Ermeto acts as if the act is ultimately of little consequence, death being what it is. He'll always turn back around to do the same thing. This is why we go to the mantle, Ramla. It doesn't make the banishing any better, you think. You still don't even know how they're dying. It always happens when you're out.
You have nothing to fear anymore, Ramla. Least of all the pain.
Preceptor?
Yes, Confessor?
You said Goddess Dryder would save me.
I did.
So why do I still feel the pain? Isn't she supposed to save me from that?
You misunderstood a lesson, Confessor. Allow me to elucidate. There is a spark in you that is nothing short of miraculous. Goddess Dryda speaks through a pain such as yours. The frailty you feel, the loss of breath, the inner tightness, that is her voice, the kind that draws louder the nearer you draw to her. In the fire that you described, that is her voice too. Her warmth. Why does she speak through pain? Who would want to listen to that? That's why we have those like you, Ramla. That is exactly what saves you.
I don't get it.
You are saved because you're hurt for a reason. There is nothing senseless about it.
Damn! He keeps damn hurt!
We really ought to stop meeting like this.
The body sputters breaths back into the lungs. Hands slowly drag the torso up.
Fuck you. Is it so hard to lighten up a little? I'm tired. Well, you're under good sleep, I must say. You're waking up faster each time. Not to mention your temper. I much prefer it over the brooding silence. Makes you sound a little more alive. What, not sleepy after all? Because you stare at daggers at me still. Or singular dagger, as it were. What, too much? Alright. Come on, out with it.
Wait a minute. My brain is cooking up. I have like a little theory about this game and the symbolism about it. Because I'm just staring at this shroud, I believe. So there is a specific shroud that's like really famous for legend to be the shroud that covered Christ's body after his crucifixion, because like it has the indents of like a person on it, like it has like the silhouette of a person's body on it. You can see like the eyes and the mouth and stuff and some of the details, and people speculate that to be Christ himself. Now this little like this is supposed to be our main character. This is supposed to be Ramla, but looks like a shroud. Is this supposed to represent Christ? Okay, so the people can't experience true death. There is no true death. They're just roaming out. They're just roaming around. It's kind of like torture at this point. Is this like an allegory for like Christ? I'm not too sure. Or am I just talking out my ass? Either way, it's really interesting. Anyway.
Alright. Come on, out with it. What's on your mind? You promised me secrets.
So far, I've heard nothing.
That I did. True. I've been quite focused on our journey, and I will say that is mostly that Foundation does not possess much of what I like to show you. But this does not mean I've nothing to share, of course. I'm your open book, Ramla.
Ooh, can I please ask every question?
What is my eye, really? A good question. A very good question. Though I suppose this will come down to whether or not you trust my answer. I'm sure it was explained to you with great confidence. The touch of Draga that prepares a vessel for her knighthood. A great honor, I hear. That much is true, in a literal sense. The touch of rot is indeed her mark to give. The domain of the great pillars given to her by the highest of her family is the domain of decay. The exact nature of the mark is that root that was eventually placed inside your eye. The eye being the seabed for this root was largely a symbolic gesture. It could likely survive in many parts of the body. As written in the Dryden Edicts, there exists a life that is pulled towards death, and that life is capable of transcending it, subsuming the dying life into life anew.
You remember that in different words from your lessons.
Deathless life. Life born from life. A mission only those as foolish as gods would attempt to fulfill. I have a question, Rotter. Ramla. Use my name properly. Ramla, then. What was it like? Receiving that mark from her. It is not every day that a priest is able to meet the divine family in person.
I really don't know. I want to know.
I don't remember very well. She barely even spoke to me. Everyone was so quiet. And then she touched me, and it was over. I just woke up in my bed after that. Interesting. I ask because so many of those that do meet the Divine Family come out of it thinking a little differently. Those who taste true power often do, whether they wield it or whether it is wielded against them. I don't know what you mean. I mean it is one thing to worship from the freedom of interpretation and another to worship from knowing the truth. One is ruled by faith and the other is ruled by fear. Anyone would fear the gods. I think you already know what I mean. To my point, this is what your eye is. A reminder of power. Foolishly, it's real enough a reminder for us to use. But how will it do what you say it will? That is a good enough question that I find it hard to answer in full. How to say it. You said something earlier. Life born from life, I believe it was. The reason the Divine Family, and Dragon in particular, were so invested in the idea of rotten decay is this idea of a life that transcends the need for death. They wanted an immortality that could renew itself. They wanted to defy the world they violently inherited. Even now, there is still a pillar of edicts pertaining to death. But you said death was broken. Because it is. They changed the writing on the wall, but they haven't been able to remove it altogether. Why not? If I knew that, it'd be because I had read the edicts for myself already, Romula. I have a reason to believe that your eye will be the thing to do the job. That's really the core of it. So, what? You wave my eye around the pillar, and then it all, falls over? Something like that. I don't understand. Why did they give the mark if it could do such a thing? Why indeed did they spend so long crafting a tool only to never use it? Either they didn't succeed, success wasn't what they were imagining, or it wasn't enough.
There's a lot of questions. Okay, I want to know this one.
How have you been killing our pursuers? I'm a gloaming man, Romula. Are you sure you want to know the answer? Simply knowing the machinations of my craft is enough for persecution, as I'm sure you're aware.
He's gonna be dead anyway, what the fuck's the point?
I want to know. Do you now? Interesting. Is it because you no longer care for the risk, or is it because you don't trust me? No need to answer that. Just something I was thinking about. To answer your question, what have you noticed about each of our encounters so far?
He was fucking dead, and by the time he comes back to life, they're already dead. The other people are already dead, so he doesn't know.
How can I notice anything? I always die. Once again, you do not die, but you're actually exactly on the mark with your response. It is precisely that you become banished from life. I will now call to attention again to the fact that I am a gloaming man. You use me? I do. Yes. But perhaps not in the way you might think. Before you rush for the pitchfork, I do not and cannot puppet your body. It stays whether you leave it until I can put you back together. Honestly, I have no idea where that idea even came from among the common folk. The real part I'm using is in fact your mark. The rot. It reacts quite violently when its host is pushed against the world of death.
You don't want to hear anything more. You don't know how much more you could take the blood boiling in the veins.
You say the eye will dissolve the edicts of death and fix it. What does that even look like? The barrier between life and death will be gone. Souls will separate from their bodies and return to the great source. And for those that die, they will no longer remember? It's impossible to truly say without having seen death for oneself, but yes, my understanding is that your consciousness and mind will end. No more thoughts. No more thinking. Correct?
You feel a hunger for it. Not a hunger of the body, but of the mind. It hollows you.
Who even are you? You're curious about me, aren't you? In a way, one is curious about a carriage wreck. Ha! Oh, you're good. Where's that Romula hiding most of the time? Just answer the question. Fine, fine. What do you want to know? Anything? Anything. Are you sure? I'm not sure if, for instance, my feather care routine would be of much use to you. Stop making this my responsibility. No fun. Well, let's see. I've told you my name, Ermeto Adrisa. Ring any bells? No. Thank goodness for that. It certainly is a name worth remembering. The Adrisas are a long line of poor thinking and terrible mistakes. A noble family? You could call it that, though it's been a long time since the Adrisas served in any government or council. Wealthy, sure, they were that for most of the time. Until me, Ramla. I'm sure it doesn't surprise you. A classic case of a glowing man getting his due. You chose to profane. I didn't know that was what I was choosing. I'm an old man, Ramla. Same to you. Old and bitter and sick of everything. That's who I am. That's what I am. The particulars don't matter in the end. Being remembered is a vanity I've never been able to afford. I'm tired. Sleep then. All goes well and we'll be leaving Foundation behind soon. It's as simple as closing the eyes. Do you think she'll remember us? Draga? Yeah. After the ceremony? I wonder what it means to her. That we become selected and meet her and allow her to touch us. I wonder what goes through her head. What she's thinking as she does it. What she believes she's created. What do you want to know? The more you understand something, the more you believe in it. That doesn't sound like faith, though. You're right. She's asking us to trust her. Until the day we can understand. But what if she never lets us understand? I don't think that's true. Everyone wants to be understood. Or else they might get remembered as something they're not. Why do we need Draga for that? What do you even mean? We're confessors. What else is left? Well, I'd remember you. Can you know me better than Draga can? Don't I already? I guess you do. You're a funny one, Ramla. You always have a question. The preceptor says I ask too many. Maybe you do. I don't really mind, though. Stay with me a bit. So this game is really fucking lengthy, actually. Well, it's only 23,000 words, so it's kind of like the same length as my visual novel. But I want to stretch this into two parts. You know, give it some more attention and everything. This is really fucking interesting. I love the UI interface with this. It's really good. I don't know. It's like there's so many questions that I want to answer and everything, and I feel like they're slowly like revealing it to us little by little. But this is really cool. Anyway, thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you enjoyed watching this, give it a like and subscribe if you're really interested. I also have a lot of videos pertaining to furry visual novels on my channel if you want to go check those out. I have done with a Demon Alert, Chenya, Promises to Keep, etc, etc. I'll also leave a link to this game in the description below, as well as the creator's handle, so you can go support them and what they do. And I'll also leave a link to my Twitter and my Blue Sky in the description below, so you can go check me out over there and support me over there. And once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!